Character. What do you think when you hear that word? The moral ethics of a person? A feature or a trait? All of us have this basic trait. Character. But what does it mean? Why is it important? Character design is the basis of creating character. Many of you here are trained for careers in animation, graphic design, or may not at all. However, in design, it is necessary to be able to convey the idea of your audience to your audience or prospective employer. The first basic method of this is the use of a balanced level of aesthetics for your character. These few examples of aesthetics are facial and hair features, body features, and clothing styles. In animation, the face is the most important feature. It conveys feelings, verbal responses, and emotions. It will get the most attention on screen, and it's important to make sure the audience can see and feel the emotions the character is conveying. Hair is also in close proximity to the face. It helps convey feeling and emotions as well. It also can be given a life of its own. This is very prominent in anime. Just a sec. The character of Ronka Lee from Macross Frontier by Sunrise fits this description. Her hair moves with her expressions. It's really cute and adds to the character's personality. Here in this PowerPoint presentation, it shows that her hair moves with her will. Her hair responds as if it's alive and in response to her emotions, as I said before. In this picture, her hair can catch items. In this picture, she is catching her cell phone, which she threw into the air because she is happy because she's going to the concert of the person whose picture is behind her. It only recently has been used in a similar way in recent animation by Disney, their movie Tangled. The character Rapunzel has golden magic hair, which she can use to aid her in her mainly mundane ways. She uses it as a whip or a rope. It also has the ability to heal if she sings, since she is the daughter of the queen. This queen was saved by a potion that was made from a magical flower that heals. This feature of Rapunzel's hair adds color to the character and makes her larger than life. It's fitting since she is the main character of this story. As you can see, she's here in the picture where she is tied up one of the sub-characters, and also her features of her magical hair that heals when she sings, and she can use it as a whip or a lasso. Also, another thing, the hair seems to move. However, in the movie, it seems like it has maybe more life than they're trying to let on, but this is not the focus of the story. Next, body features is an important thing that works in conjunction with the face. This feature helps characters' tasks, emotions, since the body will react to emotions felt by the person, and physical stature. It also conveys age and size of the character. Some notable characters are Aurora from Sleeping Beauty, or Mrs. Potts from Beauty and the Beast. Aurora is tall and elegant in nature, much like her mother. It adds to her character of an elegant princess. Miss Potts is short in nature, and is imitating her figure without really knowing her true form. At the end of the movie, it shows how the plump Pot was actually a plump woman in human form. This transcending of form and inanimate objects to human form is an amazing concept. It is something to consider when you're dealing with translating human form into inanimate form. Clothing styles are the last of the aesthetics needed to be addressed. Clothing determines where this person lives, the status they have in society, historical effects of the era they are in, and also shows up what type of person they are. There are many different styles that can be used to clothe your characters. Some specific to certain eras, while others transcend years and social trends. Take Star Wars, for example. Most of the styles initially for the clothing trends are mostly Saharan or Middle Eastern in nature, but it is used in conjunction with the sci-fi genre. It's clearly obvious that the clothing style does not match with the genre being used, but it seems to be used in a way as to add style to the mostly technical background it's combined with. It has been widely accepted by fans across the world, including me. The second basic method is this main story concept for your character. The genre your story is set in determines a lot of the character's world. If you are using historical times, you will have to use items or articles that are specific to that time, like the 1920s. I have some examples here of the automobile and the flapper dresses that they wore back there during the time. There are many types of genres. Some examples are sci-fi, fantasy, modern, post-Holocaust, romance, horror, and historical, of course. All have their specific events, environmental effects, governments, societies, and statuses. Each will affect how the character responds to their environment and peers. Next, the place where your character lives is also part of the main story concept. There's a big difference between the rural lifestyle of a small town in the 1800s in comparison to the confined spaces on a colony ship in space. Each has certain aspects that the character will interact with during their daily life. This also affects the involvement that they will have in reference to their peers or their superiors. It also covers things or places that they would not have access to, but might possibly have access to if the right conditions are met. The third basic method is to create a purpose for your character. There are a few basic concepts for character roles. They are the protagonist, antagonist, and sub-characters, who are actually called the supporting characters. First, the protagonist is the main character of the story. This role can either be a young child, like Alice here, up to a young adult, like Sailor Moon here, who is Usagi Tsukino. It is up to you. However, it doesn't mean that you can't use adults, which is Oren down here on the bottom. It is up to you if you want to focus on either the young child overcoming a danger, the coming of age of a young adult faced with adversity, or an adult facing a rival competition, faction, to name a few ideas. For example, as I named before, Alice from Alice in Wonderland by Disney, Usagi Tsukino in Sailor Moon by Toei Animation, or Oren from Star Chase, Legend of Oren by Atlantic Releasing. This is one of the many common choices that is prominent in most children's stories and novels, even adult novels, and I don't mean that adult. Next, the antagonist is the main enemy of the story. This person is supposed to be the enemy or opposing force against the protagonist. The antagonist can be in the form of many different facets. It could be an item, a person, an ideal, or a force. The antagonist can be just as nondescript as the sub-characters, but they must at least have one purpose. They also can have a few things like drama to add color or comedy to the villain, but it is not necessary. Take, for example, Megamind and Prince Crusto. They both tell the story from their point of view. They are both the antagonists in each show. The movie is a snapshot of their viewpoint, which is a different take on how movies are usually choreographed. Movie standpoints are usually from the protagonist's point of view. Lastly, sub-characters, or supporting characters, are the general social fauna that the character interacts with. They can either be the reason the character does what he does for a purpose, or they can be the purpose that causes him to act. For example, in Beauty and the Beast, Belle was inclined to go with the Beast because of an action from her father, which is here on the screen. I have two pictures of him. He tried to take the rose for his daughter Belle, Later on in the movie, Belle has to return to her father to see after him because he's very sick. Another example is Cal Tucker in Titan AE, lower here on the screen. He is inspired by his father to find a ship, which is the hope for mankind. I didn't find a real good picture of his father, though. His father left him a ring that holds a map to get to the ship, which is the Titan AE, which means after Earth. This ship has the ability to create a planet. I'm not sure how it does. It was a bit vague. So as you can see, the measure of one character can truly mean a lot. So I hope now that you understand that the combination of these key methods, aesthetic, story, and purpose, can create a well-rounded character to move forward toward infinity and beyond. Thank you for listening to my presentation. I will be posting the PowerPoint along with my presentation. I hope you enjoy it and follow along with it while I